So today we have a very special guest in the house, the legendary Bun B.
Hello, hello.
Clap it up. Cory Mo.
Ever seen the Domino's pizza commercial with the dude that's the fastest box?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually have seen that, yes.
That's what I do with rap. It's only until the bill comes in and you realize how in debt you are that you realize how manipulated you've been.
Yeah.
Pimp used to want to go to New York and let rats loose in the office.
Trill burgers is delicious.
It is.
All I eat in
Thank
life
you.
is
Thank
pizza and burgers.
I think we should introduce a vegetable.
Milc, what do you got for us?
Modelo.
Yo, he pulled out a beer from his pocket, bro.
You got another beer.
I think I drink irresponsibly.
You're a degenerate, my boy.
Yes.
I'm a little bit of a degenerate, a little bit.
One thing I see about Shipes in this facility is he just takes runaways and he teaches them how to rap. It's like a rap clinic. Don't
No,
ever
low-key
disrespect me
doesn't
looking like the
matter.
baby from Dinosaurs. Yo, that's him.
Look like you a little bit, bro.
But thank you for your question.
So
You can
follow
go back to your beer now.
Yeah, your life.
So today we have a very special guest in the house, the legendary Bun B.
Hello, hello.
Clap it up.
Cory Mo. Now, normally we'd have a whole different set of hosts, but one caught a flat tire and our gay Jewish midget was not able to make it from Connecticut. We do normally have a gay Jewish midget that sits right there in the middle. If you've seen the show before, his name's Stanley. So both Stanley,
Shit.
Bun is not amused at all, but both Stanley and Rayyy Rayyy couldn't make it, but
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing inside.
we got Gorilla.
It's crazy to be wrong.
Yo, he's giving me a intro.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Deb.
We have Gorilla Nems in the house.
Yeah, your life.
Unplanned. Feel me?
Yeah.
And I love the energy of this pod already.
That's right.
So first and foremost, because there's a ton of stuff that I personally have to ask you, right? We have a friendship, we go back a long time.
Of course.
Same with you, Cory. It's ill to have you guys up. But I know the Mo Trill album is coming November 7th, so I figured we would just start there and then kind of move through things.
Okay.
So you produced the whole album, Cory?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
is that a play on words like Mo Trill, or was it?
Exactly.
Got it.
The first album that Bun and I did together back in 2022, it was called Mo Trill. So this is the second
Got
installment,
it.
which is way Mo Trill.
Got it.
Then the first one.
Yeah.
All right.
So the
There you
third
go.
one will be called something else. We ain't gonna let y'all know that yet.
Oh, you already got it in the back of your head?
Yeah, you know, I'm just trying to just plot and think it into
Absolutely
existence.
Mo Trill type of shit.
Okay.
It's a work in
What is
progress.
the process like when you two hook up? You know what I mean? It's like, do you have the beats? Like when you're making the beats, is it like, all right, you come into the studio 10 beats deep, like, yo, Bun, I made all these already? You making them on the spot? Like, how
It's
did it all
more
come
like
about?
I don't ever really make them on the spot with Bun because he writes too fast. So I kind of have to have the beats ready. Sometimes he might come in doing a feature for artists, and then before he leaves, he'll be like, "Hey, play me something," and I'll just start playing old stuff, and he'll jump on something, or I'll just send him an MP3. Hey, Bun, check this out. What you think? You know what I mean?
And it kind of, you piecemeal together the album as you get one
So,
record.
Bun, that's how you normally write? Because I've seen you write on the Trill Statics. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's writing a whole album in 20, not even, because we don't even be there 24 hours. We be there like 12 hours,
Yeah.
16 hours. But you're writing 16, 20 tracks.
You ever seen the Domino's pizza commercial with the dude that's the fastest box?
Yes.
flipper
I actually
dude?
have seen that, yes.
Wait, you'll do a whole album?
That's
in
what
that-
I do with rap.
Bro,
Really?
10 minutes, a full 16 bar
Has it
in
always
10
been like
minutes
that,
for
though?
real. Always.
So when we first started, studio time was expensive. We used to have to drive in from out of town. So we wanted to have as much pre-production done as possible and then be as, efficient as we could in the studio. Because this is I think this started back in like 92. So we were doing this on 2-inch reels. So just the idea of, having to start over a verse could take up to 2 minutes just to reset the reel back into position. And that shit becomes a waste of money. We're talking about for some dudes from the street paying like $125 an hour for studio time. That was a lot. So we tried to get as much done as we could. Like back then, we used to do each other's ad-libs. Like we both rap in the booth
together.
on one
Yeah,
mic,
that's how it
and
was
then
last
I would do
time.
his other ad-libs.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Just to try to save time.
You little motherfuckers today could never even imagine. That's why we got so many rappers, because it's so easy to do.
That's
Back
true.
then, your town might have, even in New York, it was hard to find studio time.
Our town didn't have one at all. So
I
we used to
could
have to
imagine.
we used to have to drive an hour and a half every time
Where
just to
would
go
you
in the
Where would
studio.
you go?
From Port Arthur to Houston.
To Houston, and that was so. I do want to start off. I got put onto UGK late, and I'm embarrassed to say that because you guys, UGK, and then ultimately you, some of my favorite hip hop, right? But I really didn't go back and study you till Crit, because when I found Crit, everybody was like, "Oh, he sounds just like Pimp C," and I had really, I'm not embarrassed to admit it because you got to do your homework as you learn. Like I had really only heard like International Players Ball.
Anthem.
From you, Anthem. I'm sorry, from you guys. Then I went back and listened to everything, right? So I don't know the whole history, right? When you guys started, you weren't signed to Rap A Lot in the beginning, right? You were just
We
doing.
were signed to Jive Records actually.
Oh, but from the beginning, like, how did that come
Well,
about?
we started with an independent label called Big Time Records.
Got it.
We dropped our first EP called The Southern Way, and we sold like 50,000 independently in like 30 days. So,
But how does, like, take me back to that, because I know back in the day, the way we all came up, right? It was out the trunk. You go city to city and create that buzz, right?
absolutely.
So you literally started that way, then made your way to Houston.
I mean, look, you would go around, you'd be trying to give people your music, you know what I'm saying? You try to get somebody to listen to your demo. We went to Houston one weekend to the flea market, King's Flea Market, and walking the flea market, the record store had a sign said we're looking for talent. So we jumped back in the car, we drove an hour and a half back to Port Arthur, got the music, drove back up an hour and a half and played it for him, and he liked it. He was like, I want to work with y'all.
And then from there, you just started promoting.
Yeah, but he was a store owner, right? So he had relationships with one stops
Right.
and wholesalers and shit
That's how
like
it used to
that.
be.
So we were able to get in and get good placement, put in the catalog, because they give a catalog every week as to what records was moving and shaking. And then we had a record store, so I'm in the record store in the hood in the flea market selling my album. People
Right,
don't even
every
know it's
single
me.
day or
Though.
every
Yeah, but they
weekend.
don't know it's me. I'm not telling it's me. They come in and they ask what's hot, and I'm like, this is the best thing going right now. They're not
fire.
paying attention.
Yeah,
They're taking my
that's
judgment.
smart.
So they just buy the record and they come in next week and like, you ain't tell me this was you, bro. You tripping.
And that's how the buzz started. And then
Yes.
ultimately you wound up signing and selling 50,000 records in 30 days.
Yeah, so that
crazy.
was through him, through the wholesaler. And
Right.
then making that kind of impact. And we dropped in the same weekend, our EP dropped the same weekend as Crisscross's album.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
They
I'm
were
low-key
number one.
embarrassed to say I was up on Crisscross before you guys. That's just terrible.
Well,
Look,
that
man,
was
look,
Little Bow Wow,
You raise
Little
how you
Romeo
raise, Johnny.
combined.
We can't do nothing about
was from
that.
the East Coast,
Proximity
you
is
know?
key to
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
you know what I'm
facts.
saying? But we, like in every other wholesaler in the country, they were the number one thing moving. But in Houston, we were number one, like to Lake Charles and Lafayette and all these different small markets in the area. So that got the buzz and attention of people, and so. Wednesday, people start calling from like Warlock Records and places like that. And then eventually it worked up the ladder. And then on Saturday, nobody called. And then Sunday, nobody called. And we thought we overextended ourselves because we were like, yo, maybe we should have taken some of
Taken
these
one of
people
these,
serious.
yeah.
So then Monday morning, we was like, whoever called first, we signed it. And it was Jive. Now, we didn't even take it into consideration that the record companies fucking closed on Saturday and Sunday. That's why nobody was calling. You know what I'm saying? But we ended up signing with Jive for better or for worse, and the rest is history, as they say.
And then from Jive to Rap A Lot?
Yeah, but that happened because once Pimp got incarcerated, I offered to do I had a clause in my contract that I could do a solo album with Jive, but they told me like, nah, we don't believe in that. We think you're more like a sidekick.
Wow.
Pimp is the real
Wow.
star. So, we're not really interested in that.
That's
but
crazy.
then Jay Prince was like, well, I know the value of this, so
Yeah.
I'll do it. So then once Jay Prince said he wanted to put it out, then they was like, well, wait, what's going on? What you know that we don't?
Right.
Type of shit. So they had to go through a whole thing, but he eventually got the right to release a solo album, and that was literally 20 years ago, last weekend, Trill, the first solo album. Just celebrated his 20th anniversary last weekend.
That's nuts. Congrats on that, man.
Thanks.
That's crazy. 20 years.
Next
So-
year is the 30-year anniversary of Riding Dirty.
I love. By the way, going back into the catalog, Riding Dirty is like one of the greatest albums of all time.
No, it's the quintessential UGK album.
I couldn't believe that I hadn't heard it before, but I also think that like when I look at different pockets of hip hop, or you know, the East Coast versus South or the West, like that I always love that about the South. Like you guys support yourself so much more than like the East Coast. You really needed radio. You know what I mean, to break out. It wasn't like where we were supporting artists like that and going and buying records all day long, where I feel like in the South you could really go platinum out of the trunk. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you can have a lot of success going platinum, like selling 1 million records
That's
hand
a
to hand.
figure of speech.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying,
no, but you could
50,000 records
you
is a
could
lot.
definitely make impact. You could definitely make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could perpetuate a lot of other residual income, like merchandise and touring and all of that. Definitely out of the trunk.
I can't remember, like even, you know, I grew up on Nas, Jay, all them. I don't remember that side of the game.
Well, it wasn't really necessary, right? Like y'all were a lot closer to
All
media.
the labels.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Happy
saying? Y'all
Summer
had all the
Bill.
record companies. Y'all had one of the biggest record radio stations in the country
Right.
being played. You know what I'm saying? So all y'all had to do was find a way in the door. We had to get to New York. We had to, the buzz for us had to reach all the way to New York just to even be considered. But I mean, to be quite frank, if an A&R's got to figure out if he wants to sign a guy from Queens, a guy from Brooklyn, or a guy from Port Arthur, Texas, it's going to be a lot easier for him to keep his job if he, you know, signs somebody that he has a frame of reference to what they're talking about. People didn't really know what we was talking about back then. So the idea that we
Unless
had
you
a
were
buzz
from-
and that people were, you know, fucking with it, it was a good thing. But even after Jive signed us, they really didn't know what to do with us.
Yeah.
They just saw we had motion. They saw we were, you know, making some noise in that region. So they was like, well, we can pick it up. It should just go on its own. But nah, like there was some nurturing that had to be done. There was a level of awareness that motherfuckers needed to have to properly present us to the public, and they didn't have it.
But that ultimately probably made you guys who you were, and you as a solo artist, because you actually were able to take the time to develop. Whereas like a Crisscross or whoever, not making it about them, Daz Effects, whoever you want to say was coming out at the same time, they were just pushed to the forefront, and either you performed immediately or it was on to the next
But they
artist,
didn't
you know?
nurture, like they didn't mentor like that.
No,
you know
you
what I'm
guys
saying?
did it for yourself.
Yo,
I'm
no,
saying.
no, absolutely. We
You
had
know?
to realize how that in order for us to get to a certain level of success, we were gonna have to take it upon ourselves to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? There was only so much they could do. Even with the resources and the reach that they had, they didn't know what to do with it in terms of us.
Yeah.
You know, there was no low-hanging fruit that they could be like, well, at least they do this.
Right.
You know, and they could move on that. They didn't understand that
It's
shit
crazy because
at
nowadays,
all.
if you had an artist like Pimp and you producing, rapping, the type of music you were making, a lot of people would know what to do with that. You know what I mean? It shows the progression of the game.
Yo, Port Arthur is mad close to Louisiana, right?
You're closer to Louisiana than Houston.
Yeah, that's, I
actually.
was looking at it when we was out there, and I was like, were you influenced by Louisiana music as well?
I mean, not really, because Louisiana music is very regionalized. Like what people listen to in Lake Charles and Lafayette is not what people listen to in Baton Rouge, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not what people listen to in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
You know what I'm saying? But like my family is from Louisiana. My mom and my dad are from very small towns in Louisiana, so they listen to a lot of like what's called Zydeco music, and they listen to a lot of blues. Now that stuff
What
will
was Zydeco?
influence the music. Zydeco is like Cajun Creole music.
I've never even heard
Most of it
that
is spoken
genre.
in French and sung in French.
Probably a lot of dope shit on that.
Yeah, but we didn't. My parents didn't teach us French because they wanted to talk about shit around us that we wouldn't know. But we learned that we could draw, you know, the context of what they were
Yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah.
That's
based
why
on
my mother didn't
what
teach
they
me
would teach.
Spanish, bro. They'd be like, yo, you Puerto Rican, you don't speak Spanish? I'm like, nah, my mom, they teach me. Because she always used to talk about me in Spanish.
Right.
So
that- yeah,
her mother and
it's
all
fucked
that.
up because here's the problem. My cousin came to me like about 15 years ago, and he was like, he resented that shit because he was like, that's a whole part of our family, and that's just gonna die with them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't teach none of us French. You know what I'm saying? And then like we go to funerals, like people pass away, and then like my dad will get up and do the whole eulogy in French. I'm like, what the fuck did he say?
You got the translator.
You know what I'm
phone.
saying? Like, and I hate that. I hate that. Like, they should have taught us that, but they'd be like, yeah, and then so-and-so came around, and I had to voulez-vous, all that type of shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, I'm supposed to know this shit. Like, culturally, I should know this shit. So now, because I don't know it, I can't really carry the shit on.
Yep.
The shit is a problem. I don't like that.
Milk, what do you got for us?
Modelo,
Yo, he pulled out a beer from his fucking pocket, bro.
Hello, bud.
how you doing? You don't
Got
have to
little
raise your hand to
sausage
speak.
face.
You
Long
can-
time listener, first time caller.
Thank you.
You used that in another pot already.
Well, we're trying to create branding. Okay.
Yo, he got another beer.
Oh, he got a lot of.
Yeah, he pulled it out of his
and they
pocket.
won't sponsor him. By the way, we've hit him
I think
up.
I
We
drink
said-
he drink that much.
responsibly.
He's not very
You
sponsored.
drink that
bro.
much beer that you ain't even the main host and you sponsor.
Bro. No, they won't sponsor.
They won't sponsor me.
Oh.
We're trying to get him a sponsorship, but
I think I drink irresponsibly.
I believe that.
Yo, but how does your hair not move, homie? Do you hairspray that shit
well, just so
under the
you
hat?
know, it's a good question.
Or does that come with the hat? You think
Corey
it's-
is actually working on hiring hair and makeup for Milc moving forward. He just doesn't know
Make
yet.
them less red.
But yeah, that hair, I don't even want to touch it, but it is crazy. It's like
Is it just because it's
Stop
dirty or
touching
it
it.
comes off with the hat?
Nah, it's got to be dirty.
It's
gotta
not
be
dirty. I just don't comb it. Pause.
Did you have a
Anyway,
question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I was
He look like Frosty the
downstairs.
Snowman. Get his shit in.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, put the chain right there. Yeah, shit, dancing like Usher Raymond.
All right,
But
don't
listen,
overdo it. Just go with the question. Don't overdo it.
But I was showing my chef down. You're a part of a lot of.
Wait, I'm sorry. You were showing your chef?
Yes, my chef, Chef Burpee.
Fucking
Anyway. I was showing the chef. Pardon me.
Okay.
He was making chili. It's a long process. I was playing a lot of music. You've been a part of so many posse cuts from like he didn't know you were on Sipping Syrup, Scissor. What? Yeah. And he didn't know, like pushing crazy joint. 20 years anniversary on the album. Is that a congratulation thing
Yes,
to
it is.
say?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
fair.
I don't be knowing what to say really.
You good? It's because you be drunk. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So pushing
Through my hand.
Three Kings, fire joint.
Thank you.
Anyway, you've been, and then obviously, all my friends now are getting married. I hear you and Outkast every time one of my homies gets married, like in the past couple of years. What is like your favorite song? It don't got to be the best one. The most fun you had, or like the one you feel the best about out of all these crazy posse cuts you've been a part.
Big pimpin'.
My bad. Pardon me. I forgot the joint with you, MJG 8 Ball on your first album, solo album.
Everything.
What was that
Yeah,
song?
Everything.
Yeah.
With Rick Ross as well.
That's also a crazy
the
one.
fucking
You
question?
put a lot of thought into this.
Well, I know
He
more
asked like
about.
5 different questions.
Yeah,
I know
What's
more
the
about
most fun
hip-hop
posse
than
cut?
everybody
Hold on,
here.
I want-
You don't know more about me than
Yeah,
me.
Nems, hold on one second.
I can tell that you know what you're talking about.
But Corey, let me just
I
say
got you.
one thing. We all have other shit going on in our lives, all of us. This
He
man
doesn't.
sleeps, drinks, and prepares for this show, so don't get gas, okay? He probably spent the last
No,
72 hours.
I've been listening to UGK my whole life.
Yeah.
All right, I make some noise for that.
Literally my whole life.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
no.
what was your question?
My question was, what out of all these like crazy songs? Because who would have thought you would have been a professor at Rice,
Right.
and you have a song that's played at everybody's wedding? Like that's crazy. Sorry, I'm asking like 20
You're
questions.
not even asking a question. You're just making statements. Like, because I have a question based on what you're saying. I could play off this if you want.
This was my question. What out of all these crazy songs, even Big Pimpin', let's say, even though it's just you, Hov, and Pimp,
Bro, you're gonna ask a fucking question or what?
what's your favorite one you've been a part of?
I wouldn't really say I got a favorite in that sense. Like there's one song that's above all the other songs. It really
And Get
depends.
Thrown. Sorry, that's one of
Bro.
my favorite songs of all time. I had to
Thank
say.
All right, you know
Thank
what?
you very
I have a horn
But
that I blow.
Hey, yo.
I've different songs impact in different ways at different times for different reasons. But I will say, like, Pinky Ring, I really, really had a good time doing Pinky Ring because I got to experiment with a new style. And I felt like it worked, but it wasn't something that I could do repeatedly.
Yeah.
I was like, I think this would be a dope way to say a rhyme. And then when I did it, I was like, yeah, it's dope, but I don't think doing more rhymes like this is like I'm not gonna win 5 mics and no shit like that. So,
Word.
but thank you for your question.
So
You can go
following
back to your beer now.
Yeah, facts.
So following up on that, because when I was thinking of what I did want to ask you, right? He makes a good point. All those records, like even like Pushin', I forgot about for a sec. It's one of my favorite records, right? But then there's also like Big Pimpin', right? There's International Players Anthem. Those are 2 of the biggest hip hop records of all time, right? But through it all, you remain like so consistent and true to yourself. Like your sound never switched up. It always elevated, and one album might sound this way, or I'm sure the album you guys are making is going to sound incredible, whatever zone you're at. But was that hard for you? Because some artists, like, those are huge records. Those aren't big records. Those are huge records. Some artists would, like, that could fuck their whole head up and be like, oh, I got to make records like this now, or okay, I just had this success, I got to come back with something bigger, or the label could even feel that way.
Well, I mean, we barely even got, like in terms of Big Pimpin', we barely even got the record completed because of Pimp's fear of that type of situation where, you know, Jay-Z's fan base is far different from ours. Some of these people would be introduced to what we do for the first time through this record. And this record is not a typical Jay-Z record, right? So Pimp was operating under the notion that people might think this is our sound, because it ain't his sound.
Yeah.
And it's Timbaland. It's not even Timbaland's sound.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah,
As
it
a
really was
producer.
left.
So he was hesitant to be a part of that record because he didn't want all of these people who already are checking for Jay-Z and what he's doing to get us, you know, misconstrued.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't really
A
what we do.
first-time listener.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I believed in the fact that people would go back, do the due diligence, and find out exactly what we represented. So it took basically some, you know, reverse psychology to get him to be a part of the record, but it eventually ended up being one of the best moves we ever made.
Yeah, I mean, that record's incredible. And so,
Did Hov ever explain how like he got up on y'all? Like, cause wasn't Big a big fan of UGK, right?
Yeah, Big was a fan. We met Big during a promo for Super Tight, I want to say. And we were in Atlanta, and Big was in Atlanta. We were all under BMG distribution, so we all were at the BMG distribution headquarters. And I went over to introduce myself because I got a hold of the demo before the album dropped. So I had heard a lot of other songs. Yeah, you know, his demo had leaked. Well, not demo, but his a couple of songs from his
Ready to
first
Die?
album. Yeah, had leaked. So I was like, this dude is nice.
Yeah.
And so we went over and we introduced ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, I know who y'all are. Y'all got the song on Minutes. Y'all got the best song on Minutes. I told 8 that y'all got the best song on
and
Minutes.
8 had a good song on
8 had
Minutes,
a
too. That's
great
one of my favorite
fucking
songs,
song
too.
on that soundtrack. And he was the star of the movie, too. So we was like, hey, you want to smoke some weed? And Biggie was like, yeah, let's smoke some weed. So we went out to the car. I offered him to get in the back seat, and he wouldn't. He said, I'm going to sit in the front. And he kept the door open, and he kept a foot out. He kept like a leg out.
Wow.
Was there a reason for that?
Well, he didn't know us like that. We were outside in the car smoking weed, so that's why he wouldn't get in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he wouldn't
What
close the
city
door.
was it?
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Sorry, pardon me. I didn't hear.
So that
That's
just
crazy.
told me that this dude was pretty much what I thought he was and moved a certain way. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I was going to say, I feel like with somebody like Big or anybody that was a real fan or student of hip hop, once they hear you guys or you, right, they're going to become a fan. So I do agree with you on the mentality. Looking back, it was a good move for you guys because that's how I got up on you guys. Really, I feel like I said, I feel like Players Anthem was really the first time I was like, whoa, what is this? You know, and I was a huge fan of Outkast. And then when I went back,
You named that
instantly-
song like 3 different times, like wrong.
It's no International Players Anthem, no?
Players Anthem, Players Ball. You said
Players Ball, I said the
That's
first
the
time.
Outkast song.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say it's an Outkast song too. So
You're forgiven, Johnny.
Thank you, I
Don't worry
appreciate
about
it.
Don't be so
He's
rough
like a
on the
fucking
kid.
bully,
Nims.
you
He's
know
a
what I'm
youngster.
saying? Like,
give him
how
some
old are
grace,
you,
my
Nims?
boy. Give him some
I'm
grace.
42.
42. I'm older than you.
Yo, edit that shit, man. I'm
Son of a-
37 in rap age.
You just turned 21. You can
Yeah,
have
that's
a beer
right.
now, just not out of your pocket.
Is it hard?
Hey, yo.
Not even hard. Jesus Christ, I can't even say nothing. Pause, okay.
laughing from
We had Cam on the last episode.
How many times were you paused?
Well, you know what he actually
You know what he
said
did?
for this episode?
He deaded
We're
the
gonna
whole
pause
thing.
the pauses.
He said, "Oh, we're not doing that, I guess,
Yeah,
today."
because it's too many, you know what I mean? And also the gay Jewish midget was sitting right in between them. It was just too much.
That was an inherent pause.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, he actually made a good point. He was like, "Look, I'm not." What did he say? He was like,
He's like, I forgot.
yeah.
I was
too, but it
starstruck.
funny. He said
like
some
I am
funny
with
shit.
you, but I was starstruck when I saw
Yeah,
Kid.
he got a drink before he gets into his whole mode. He probably was drinking for a good couple of hours, right?
Well, yeah, I was watching Chef cook up the crazy chili. I was getting drunk. We were bumping Bun B, UGK. It was a whole vibe.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
The chili you ate, it had beans in it?
The chili had beans,
It's
yeah.
not chili.
Yeah, it's not Texas style.
not chili.
Okay. Well,
What is it?
Huh? It's soup.
Okay. He
Chili
says it
with
with a
beans
straight
is soup.
face,
It's
too.
not chili.
There's so much I have to ask you because I know you're a foodie. I want to talk about
Trill
you.
burgers.
I want to talk about you as a teacher. But
Yeah,
but
that's
now
what I
you're
wanna
talking
go
about
into.
the food. We could.
Trill Burgers is fucking delicious.
It is.
All I eat in
Thank
life
you.
is
Thank you.
pizza and burgers.
Yeah, yo.
Obviously. Like, this is really all I eat. That ass.
Busy told me that. about you, and I think we should introduce a vegetable.
Nah. So look, went down to Houston, had Trill Burger. It's one of the best burgers I had. And I'm
it's
not
great.
just saying that.
Nah, I agree with you. You guys came and did Drewski's Could Have Been. You didn't come, but you sent your people down there.
Yeah.
And I ate like 6 of them. I was a fucking pig that day. But they
you,
were
bro.
great. They're very, very good.
I appreciate it.
Where'd that come from? You know what I mean? Have you been a foodie your whole life?
No,
Like,
I've
was
been a
that-
foodie for a long time. That's kind of how me and Premium Peter bonded. You know, we started a food blog about 10
Shout out
years
to
or so
Premium
ago.
and
Yeah,
Pete.
shout out
And,
Premium Pete.
R.I.P. Combat
And
Jack.
we've been looking to get into something in the food space. He started with his grandmother's sauce recipe. And then I was presented with the burger by Andy Wynn, good friend of mine, who went from clothing into food and became very successful. And I ate it. It was probably one of the best things I'd ever eaten. It was far and away the best burger, but it was one of the best things I'd ever eaten. And they offered me either, be a paid sponsor for the burger, come up to a couple of pop-ups or whatever, or you can jump in the trenches with us and get a considerable piece of this company.
Did you name it? I feel like that name is so true to you. Like,
Yeah, because we went around it, right? We went around every other type of, like, Bun's Burgers, B's
Yeah.
Burgers, that type of stuff. And it was just like, man, why are we playing?
Yeah.
Like I
Trill
believe
Burger.
in it. Let's go with Trill Burger. But it had to take a high level of belief to put that on that because it already had 30 years of
Right.
cultural equity built into
Right.
it.
I was gonna
So in
say-
order for me to give that equity to something, I
Right.
had to really believe
Right.
in it and be in a position to profit from it. This burger offered me both. So I was like, why not? Let's go with it.
yeah, it's a great name and a great product, you know? How many stores are currently open?
2 stores. We're about to open the third. The third may be open by the time they see this. I don't know how quick your turnaround is.
Right, it'll be a
Because it
couple of
looks like
weeks.
the
It'll be
ship was
before
kind
you-
of slow around here. But
You know, I appreciate the honesty, but believe it or not, we have a strong staff. We do. I know it sounds crazy.
You gotta pause that.
it not only sounds crazy, Johnny, no offense, but with him here, it looks crazy. Like the idea of it.
Fun.
Like does the majority of this operation revolve around drinking beer?
No, he's
Then
an
I don't know how
outlier. He's an
productive y'all
outlier.
are.
You want to know what's crazy? Do you want to know how I met this maniac?
No, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
Love to know. We'd love to know.
And then I want to get back to the food because I have questions there. But he's actually an incredible rapper. So I heard his music. He can't even believe it. I heard his music and I was like, oh, you're dead nice. I want to fly you up. Usually I'll fly somebody up, have a convo with them, see if they're a star in
This
person.
is hard to believe because you typically are a good judge of talent.
Yo,
Like,
he's a really good rapper. And he came up here and was he's like a John Belushi of rap. He was just a fucking animal. It was crazy. It was nuts. And I was like,
So there was
like,
cocaine.
Oh, for sure. This kid's an animal. So, but the thing is, my
I
whole thing
use
is,
it, I sell it, I'll re-rock it, whatever you need, baby. Never
One
jump
thing I
in.
see about Shipes and this facility and the old one too is he just takes runaways and he teaches them how to rap. It's like a rap clinic. Look, teach them if they're not rapping, he got this fucking runaway from Canada. He fucking taught him how to be on the camera. He taught this fucking runaway from wherever Uzbekistan, wherever the fuck he's from. And fucking taught him how to do audio engineering. These are all just runaways, bro. That he just kidnapped and keeps here.
yo, look, this is what I'm gonna say.
Look,
This is child labor, Johnny, but go
Yeah,
on.
100%.
Nah, listen.
Because that's a big fucking child right there. You don't care what you say.
No, he's a man
That's
baby.
big
That's what
fucking
I'm trying to
baby.
tell you. He can come on this show and try
That right there,
He
the
is a
human
man,
version
you
of
can't
that
see
right there. Not the mama. Look,
Not
remember?
the mama. Yo,
That's
that
him.
does look like you a little bit, bro.
Don't ever
love
disrespect me
does
looking
look
like
like-
the baby from Dinosaurs.
Don't ever disrespect me in front of the goddamn pod. Can we do it after?
Nice try. You missed it by a mile.
Yeah. So anyway, he came up here, and I've always blended my love for music with comedy and shit. You know what I mean? And it was just like, yo, you're gonna be a part of the new movement. You know? So here he is, and
But
he
I
can
would
actually
love
rap.
to show you some music after the podcast. Just one
He's
song.
out of here after. He already told us we only have an hour. He's not
my
trying to kick it with
goddamn
you.
it.
He's
So,
not.
so this dude actually makes music,
He could rap his ass off.
and you have a record company.
Yeah, he signed to Good Talk for real.
Okay.
And then as I got to know him more, he's funny as fuck. He's a character. I was like, bro, do the pod with me because I've always wanted
Which
to do a
one
pod.
is he better at,
I got
Johnny?
records with
Be
Static.
honest, because I haven't seen the album, Johnny. Be honest.
So here's the thing: the album comes out next year, but today's show is about your guys'
How long
album.
you been
But-
doing this?
6 months.
You're never coming out.
It's like you're signed to a basketball player.
You're never coming out.
It's like you signed a basketball
In
player.
the words of a modern day genius, your CEO is a basketball player.
It's like I'm
You're
signed
never
to, I
coming
could have got
out.
signed to Damian
You're
Lillard.
never
I
coming
went with
out.
Johnny.
But what I will say is that the album's really good, and I'm just throwing it out there. We have a couple of good features. We're looking for one big feature. Maybe if you like the music, you might.
I'm not big enough.
That's the most polite curve. You just got curved on our show.
There you go.
That's a good curve though.
So back to the food. So there's 2 stores open. One in
Yes.
Houston, one where?
Both in Houston.
Both in
Third's
Houston?
about to open. Yeah, I'm going to keep it as Houston-centric as possible because I got,
Smart.
Honestly, it's cheaper.
And it's big enough to.
You know what I'm saying? Houston is a large enough city where I
Yeah.
can have multiple
Yep.
locations. And
And you can be hands-on.
yeah, absolutely. But we're not in a rush to scale. Excuse me, in that way.
you
We're
do
trying to keep our
pop-ups as
hands
well,
on
right?
it. Yeah, no, we take the brand around the country. We've
Yeah.
taken the brand as far as Malta.
You should come to Portland, Oregon.
Probably not, but we're
You don't think so? Portland, Oregon's a
That's where
big
you're
foodie
from?
city.
Yo, he's just shutting you down left
You're
and
from
right.
Portland?
Yeah.
Figures.
Yeah.
do they fish in Portland? Because you look like a fisher.
They definitely
For
fish.
sure.
A lot of salmon
You
happening.
look like you ice fish. You just stand by
Lot
the
of
fucking
salmon.
hole with the ice.
a lot of
Like grumpy
all
old
types
men.
of fish.
Oh man.
But no, I'm saying Portland's a big food city. Trill Burger would go up there.
have you ever had a Trill burger?
No, I
So you're just saying in theory.
yeah.
Got it.
He's got a high level of belief in me, and I appreciate that. I won't let you down.
It's still not going to get him a verse, though, correct?
No, again, I'm not big enough. Nims is a little bigger than me. I think
Never said no to. So that's now
he might need like a
Cameron?
big extra
Now-
plus
Yeah,
level
yeah,
of big
exactly.
to make it
No,
work.
we need what's his name? The guy that won't get up the stairs.
Oh, Dave.
Kanye West, Dave Blunts.
Dave Bunce, Corey, could we get a beat for him, maybe?
We can work something out.
There
That means you got to pay big money.
I was going to say that. He didn't say
That
free. He
doesn't
didn't
sound
say
great.
off the love.
Work
That
something
doesn't
out.
sound great.
Don't give him nothing with me on it. Not on the hook. None of that.
Maybe just a hook.
No.
Him top lining a hook. Can we get another beer
Top
for me?
lining.
Jeez.
Bring him chili.
Bring him some chili and
Bring
beers,
him that
please.
soup. Bring him that brown soup.
So chili is without beans, just so I know moving forward.
Yeah, as far
That's
as
like the traditional
as far as
way?
the Texan is concerned, yeah.
Got it.
I don't care what the rest of y'all do with your chili. If you won't put beans in it, raisins, I don't give a fuck. Pecans, that's on you.
What do you feel is better food coming out of Texas, barbecue or Mexican food?
Barbecue, because
Really?
traditional Mexican food doesn't come out of Texas. Texas does Tex-Mex,
Yeah.
which is like fajitas and shit
Yeah.
like that. That's not traditional
Okay, fair enough.
Mexican food.
Then I'll side with you on that. I do. There are some of those Mexican food trucks are insane.
Well, I mean, a Mexican taco, a Mexican street taco is a tortilla, it's
yeah.
beef or lingua or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's cilantro and onions.
Right. It's
That's-
simple, but
that's
if you
a
hit the right
Mexican
one and it's
taco.
marinated right,
Just because a Mexican makes your taco doesn't mean it's a Mexican
That's a
taco.
fact.
That's vital fucking information,
Okay.
folks.
That's a
well,
bar.
That's one to live on.
Break that down for us.
Well, basically, like I just said, if a Mexican makes your tacos, it's not a real authentic
No, I
Mexican
get that.
taco
I'm saying,
because
What
Makes
about-
it, what makes it an
Come here,
authentic?
come here, come here. Get
I
on
think
camera.
it's the grill that they cook on, right? There's a very circular grill that they cook everything on. That the from my understanding, the tortilla exists on the grill, the meat exists on the grill, so everything about the taco is already there. And then they just hit it with the onion and the cilantro. But like cheese is not on it. They don't
Yeah.
put cheese on a
Yep.
Mexican taco. And if they do, it's not like yellow cheese. They might do like a Oaxacan cheese,
Yeah.
or some shit like that. Thank you for bringing up tacos because I don't get to say Oaxacan often.
There you go.
Thank
me?
you, I appreciate that.
How do you feel about modern day hip hop in
I don't.
Texas?
No, I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh.
No,
Like, damn.
it's the perfect time
Sean Price
for an
answer.
artist in nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because the power's in your hands. Like you don't have to go through a radio station.
Yep.
You don't have to go through a record company. You could do everything, you know what I'm saying, DIY. As much energy and time as you're willing to put into it is what you can get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the idea of having to get your check from a record company, those days are almost over.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I'm
it's
saying?
great, especially for me as an indie. Like my pitch to artists is like, yo, why would you go there and sign not maybe your life away anymore, right? These days, but damn near, or have no control or not be speaking to the person that actually is in charge of cutting the checks, yet you're
If
signing.
you've done enough of the pre-work, right, to where you're not going to a record company because you need help, you're going to a record company because they need help.
Yeah.
Right? Then the number changes, the dynamic changes.
Right.
And it's something that could be beneficial to some people. But for what most people are trying to do,
Yeah.
I feel like they can get a lot out of what they're doing on their own
Yep.
before they even have to consider bringing in other people. But it really depends on if you want to be famous or if you want to make money. Because those are two different things, and
Yep.
those are two different trajectories, and there's a different timetable for both. You know what I'm saying? So fame is very easy to achieve. The money associated with the fame, typically you overlook because of how quickly the fame is rising. You know what I'm saying? As long as somebody's picking you up in a limo and dressing you at the photo shoot and all
Right.
that shit,
You
you
forget
really
about
don't
the
ask too
money.
many fucking questions. You know what I'm saying? It's only until the bill comes in and you realize how in debt you are that you realize how manipulated you've been.
Yep. That's real. Like, that's really real.
Like, I'm just being honest.
Nah, bro.
That's a bar.
Owning and running a label and making sure I do it the right way. And how many times I've managed an artist and seen it done the wrong way. Not even at the majors. There are some indies that are scummy too. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
No, I'm not saying don't sign to a major, but you have to
Yeah.
really know why you're
Yes,
signing to a major
100%.
and what they can really do
Yep.
for you in this era, and it's going to cost you.
For
Like,
sure.
it's going to cost
But
you.
with that said, because I have 2 artists signed to major labels who have made a lot of money, and the truth is if you have a radio record or if you feel that there's certain things that you're missing that the indie might not be able to get you, the show money from a radio record, if you're handling it properly and you don't have people in your pockets left and right, you can get a ton of money still being signed to a major from selling your merchandise, from going on tours. Sometimes a song could go from here to there, and now you're getting triple, quadruple the money, you know?
So sometimes you don't even need everything that a record company has to offer. You can go in and be like, let me use your marketing
Yeah.
and your college
Your
radio
playlist,
department. Let me pay you
whatever.
guys for that. And just bring those missing parts fill those voids that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And every now and then you might be able to have somebody come along for the ride too. You know, be like, yo, if you're outgrowing this situation, man, I see where you guys are going. I would love to continue to be your publicist. I would
Yeah.
love to continue to be your college radio guy. I would love to be
Right.
your product handler. You know what I'm saying? If they see the trajectory and they see the drive that you put in, because a lot of times at these record companies, they have to work with artists they really don't believe in.
Yeah.
Because they get paid to. But every now and then somebody comes in like a genuine talent, you know what I'm saying, with character and morals
Leche.
about themselves. People want to be associated with not just the music, but the musician.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they say, fuck it. They see something going up and they leave and life changes.
And now more than ever, I think what you just said rings true, associated with something special. Like, cause songs really, 75% of music now is just a song. It comes and goes. You don't even know who the artist is. It's a song. It blows up at TikTok and then they're gone. And then the next artist is recycled in because there's no barrier of entry, which is a good and bad thing. But then there's that 25%. He's not in that 25%.
I imagine.
But that are
I'm in the
special.
top 1%.
That are extremely special.
You're like a 1%er.
Like counts are
I might have went
deactivated.
over some of y'all.
Cash App at
I caught
Milkman.
that one. It went over his head. He didn't even realize what he think.
Cash App at Milkman. My account, I'm overdrafted.
We're dropping
That's
gems
not
over
what-
here. And then
that's
Nems,
not
I
what
actually
I
want to
meant.
get you involved in this part of the convo too, because
Okay.
you're independent still, correct?
Motherfucker, he got a 4th beer.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
Nah, I'm with Paul Rosenberg.
Maybe number 4.
Oh, I thought
Goliath.
I didn't know that.
But
I
that's
knew you
not
were.
label, right?
That's the label, Goliath Records. Yeah.
If he can drink through this, can I smoke through this?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying I will, but I see like all the blunt raps
Absolutely.
and shit. So I feel
By the
like
way, shout out to
this-
Slapwoods. They sponsor the show.
No problem. So,
Very good raps.
Yo,
I
he
just,
got
feel, I
food
just feel like
flying
I just feel
around
like
him.
this environment is conducive to
Of
doing
course,
drugs, but
to-
I won't because he's a bad example.
He is a bad example, but what I will
I'm
say
a great
is,
guy.
I'm not doubting that.
We would love to go fishing with you in Portland.
That won't happen.
Jesus.
you would never hang out with him outside the show. Never, just no way. And if not, what's the reason?
No, I would, but I feel like fishing is too hard a commitment.
It's like you're
That
on
is
the
a long
boat.
time.
You're on the
It's a
boat with
lot,
him.
bro.
It
Like-
could be like
Like,
3 hours.
First we gotta get in the car and I gotta listen to him ask me all these questions
Right.
while we
I
drive
don't
to
think I would
where we
ask you
fishing.
this many
You know what I'm
questions
saying?
if we were in
Then
an
I gotta say-
interview setting.
And if he's drinking like this at work,
Bro.
I don't know how this motherfucker
Yo,
drink
it's
on his
great. Yo,
days
it's
off.
crazy
This
that
shit's a problem.
he's hitting Milk right on the head because you want to know what? I love him until he gets drunk. And when he gets drunk, it's like, go somewhere else.
you
So I can
allow
only
him.
imagine being on a boat with him fishing drunk.
Stuck.
Holy fuck.
I feel like you're an enabler though, Johnny.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
feel
not.
like you.
No, I have a text.
I feel like you encourage this shit.
No, he doesn't. He
Nope.
doesn't.
I've hit him and he sent the text to his parents because I've said, bro, you got to sober up. You got to tighten up. Some of my best friends have
You
passed.
act like he had to jump through hoops to get more beer,
Yeah,
bro.
he just said more
asked.
beer.
He just asked. He's got more beer.
It's an intervention. It's an
I'm going to
intervention.
say two things. One is a question and one is a statement, okay?
Go ahead.
Are you the boss around here?
Yes.
You're the enabler. That's
Time
it.
out.
That's it.
Damn,
There's no way around this shit.
No. Cory or Joseph or somebody speak up.
Who bought the beer? Who bought the beer?
I think
Milc, right? I didn't buy it.
Lauren did.
And it's part of his
Do
rider.
you pay him?
I do pay him. I do.
You bought the
How
beer,
can I not
bro.
pay him? How can I
All
not
this
pay
shit
him?
circle back to you, Johnny. You can't stink out of it. That's your problem.
I'm not going to edit this out either. I am not an enabler.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how much of this was you before you met Johnny?
Be honest.
100.
I'd say 90 because he was dead broke before he
So
met
you
me.
haven't changed one bit since you've been with Johnny.
No,
You're an
I don't
enabler,
think he's-
motherfucker. You're an enabler. He should have learned something from you by now. That guy learned how to do the fucking camera. That guy's learned how to do sound. And he's just still drinking beer looking like a cherub on his fucking sofa.
Yo, but I'm
Look
not
at
gonna
Eddie
lie.
Roman Silly. That fat motherfucker's on it with a beer.
Yo, I didn't know you were funny like this. I really didn't. Because I take you dead
It's
serious.
deadpan. It's deadpan.
Right. Because
it's dark
I look
and
at you as a
deadpan,
professor,
but
a
it's there.
lyricist, a businessman.
I want to go into the professor.
I had no clue.
Pause. What do you mean go into?
What the fuck?
The professor. I want to go to the professor questions.
You should go. You should go to a processor.
Wait,
Like a food
hold on, time out.
processor.
Time out. Wait, before we get, because
Yo, fruit flies are really flying around them.
I see him. I
It's
see
because
him.
the beer's open.
Yo,
you
get
don't
the
have to be a
fuck
genius
out.
to
Yo,
know
Cory,
that.
before we move on, because
What's
now I
happening?
feel like, damn, there really are flies all
It's 'cause the
around you.
beer's open.
Yo,
It's called
Yo,
sugar.
Cory,
Just
cool,
watch
cool,
science.
Do you get fruit flies around you when
Nope,
you
I
drinking
don't
beer?
got-
No,
Exactly.
never.
It's because there's flies in his household.
but they're all
You
around
should
you,
hose him the
bro.
Why they
fuck down
around you?
before he come in here. You should really hose this motherfucker down. Now, you got merch here. You can dress him after the fact.
You're like a little piglet.
What?
You got the same. Yo, you got the same color as the little piglet, pink.
He's a pink Grinch.
Yeah. You know how the
That's what he
tails
is.
are?
He's a pink
The little
Grinch.
tails are like that.
You yelled that twice.
That's how his dick is, like that, like the little
Hey,
piglet,
yo.
like the little piglet ass.
Pause.
You got a little piglet dick.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's too soon. Too soon. Not you, Truck. You talking about some British different shit.
I was gonna ask Cory, could you play a beat and let Milc freestyle so you could hear that he's actually nice? I want to prove to you that he's nice.
No, you don't need to
I
blame me.
believe you, bro.
Oh, you don't got
I believe you. Move on. Move on.
Oh,
You ain't got nothing.
Nah, Bun doesn't want him to. If Bun doesn't want to, then he's not gonna.
can't find nothing.
You brought the wrong phone, bro. My bad. My bad.
Wrong phone.
Oh my God, this interview took a turn.
I was just gonna repeat bad stand-up.
All right, bro.
So I didn't know. I could have sworn Goliath was an indie. It's not an indie through something.
I don't know what the fuck it is, to be honest.
But do you feel? And we could add this.
I feel like it's a major.
Got it. But do you feel like since signing to them, it's been a help to you or a hindrance? Because you were really doing your thing independently prior.
I feel like
to that.
there's pros and cons. I feel like when you're on a label, man, that shit is fucking 2 months to make anything happen, and I hate that. So I like being, I fuck with Paul. Paul's my guy. I just came out of a meeting with him right now. He's very helpful, whatever he could do, boom. But in terms of being on a label, I'm quick with it. Like, I pull out my phone, I make shit happen immediately. With same thing I do with the ideas. Yo, we got to get this done. Being on a label is like, all right, I could do this and come use my own money, but what the fuck am I signed to a label for?
Right.
Send me this money. Oh, you want that money? Net 60 days for everything. By that time, the fucking idea is done.
I'm going to use this to plug Good Talk. If you want to own your masters, if you want control over everything, if you want to get paid immediately on time with open books, come to Good Talk.
Don't do it, Johnny.
That's all.
I'm telling you, John. Just from an OG, don't have Big Paul down here breathing down your neck with this shit, like trying to snake his artist. Don't do that. Keep the cherub and go gold, right?
No. I wasn't saying it to Nems because Nems is my guy already. I was more just
Okay,
asking.
I just want that to be
clear it
clear.
out, and I
I just want
respect
that to
that.
be
And,
clear.
and shout out, I don't even know Paul, but I know his legacy. Shout out to him. I'm more saying just in general, that's how I conduct my business.
No,
so
no problem.
Any
I get
artist
it.
out
I get
there
it.
up
And it
coming-
really, like I said, it really depends on the artist because in that type of situation, you gotta try to decide whether doing it faster works better. Like from an independent aspect, as soon as you got it, it's mine. I control it. I own it. I want to get it out to the people. I want to build my buzz, build my buzz, build my buzz. But when you're a representative of a company, it doesn't always look the way the company wants it to look.
Yeah.
So sometimes, in order to get the full set of resources and the full power behind the label, you have to give them a time to set this shit up properly.
And from the-
Absolutely.
and from-
And
you know what
with
I'm
that
saying?
being said, so with Goliath, I signed a 3-album deal. My first 2 albums, it was just me and Paul cooking. Now,
Right.
they just now got their offices. So now it's like, now there's a whole team. So now it's a whole different experience. We had a meeting today where everything is, more set up and more structured. So I can't really speak on the label experience because I didn't really have the full experience the first 2 albums I just did.
Like let's be fair. Nems, you had the leverage to walk in and get a good deal.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? That's just the reality of the situation. And in modern times, it's a lot easier to set yourself up for that kind of success.
for sure.
It's a lot easier for you to figure out the game, the
Yep.
system, and the nuances so that when you do get to a label, you're a more fully formed artist.
Yeah.
To begin with.
And you've
you know
seen
what I'm
the
saying?
transition of all that. Like I'm assuming you coming up, you look back and you regret maybe some of the business you've done versus now what you know.
Well, I just know that I didn't understand enough of it, so
Yeah.
I walked in with this independent mentality of
Yeah.
like whatever's the quickest way to get this music out, let's go. But I didn't understand a lot of things. I didn't understand I had a publicist at the label. I didn't understand there was a whole marketing department available to me. I didn't understand that I had a product manager. You know what I'm saying? There
Do
was
you
so many
have a
different things.
manager, or do you control even back then? Have you controlled your own
No,
career?
I haven't controlled everything until like I went through the first. So the first label, he was my CEO and my manager. That tells you how much I knew about the game. About that was a clear conflict of fucking
Yeah.
interest. I didn't understand
Yeah.
it. And then somebody else came in and was like, "Yeah, just the situation isn't good for you. You should come and be with me." And I was like, I believed him because he sounded like a college educated, super smart, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, motherfucker. He was a bigger thief than anybody. You know what I'm saying? Undercover drug addict, all this type of shit.
Right.
So eventually, after 2 albums with 2 different representatives with no success, right? Like the records are hitting and all of that, but I had the biggest record did you know when Front Back was out, we had the #1 record in Houston, and I was selling food. Like I was selling soul food. I was a delivery driver.
Because
And
you
selling
weren't seeing
and
none of the
selling
bread?
weed on the side. Yeah,
Wow, from front, back, side to side.
absolutely. That was
Was
the
that
number.
90, 94?
No, I know it was a huge record, and you weren't seeing any money on it.
Nah, the way the contract was structured, the way we kept going from one guy to one guy, we literally left one guy that was robbing Peter to pay Paul,
Right.
and then became the Peter that he robbed to pay
So,
Paul.
but you're super smart. I'm assuming you've been smart your whole life, just even street smart, right?
Yes.
At what point did you realize, like, yo, this is
I felt that I trusted the people that represented me to take care of me
Yeah.
and do right by me. And that was my biggest mistake.
Right.
The fact that I assumed that other people would do what needed to be done to protect me and make sure I was okay.
And at what point did you just take your career in your own hands?
When we're selling drugs while we're out, the music
Right.
is out and we're selling fucking
Yeah.
drugs.
So for
you
a
know what I'm
long
saying?
time, 20 years, damn near.
No. I would say this. No, we figured this out like in year 2,
Oh,
like in
okay.
year 3, like very early.
Right.
Like this shit was working against us. You know, so we tried to take more control. Went to the second album, the shit was even worse. So when we got to the third album, we told them, look, we don't want any advances, right? Because we weren't making any money off of
Yeah,
it.
and that's
because we were
legendary.
incurring so much debt and all of this stuff because we had, this guy doing this and this guy doing that. So it was like, yo, we don't want any money. And then, like, we had, like, for example, and this is some crazy shit because I don't know if this type of shit exists. Like, we had different clauses in our contract coming up. So, like, we turned in the album, and when they pressed the album up and sent it to us so we could hear our album, 3 songs had been reproduced because they didn't want to pay for the sample.
And you had no say.
And I had no say in that
Right,
because
that's
I
crazy.
signed the contract. They gave them
That's
that
crazy.
power.
So
You
they
know what
like
I'm saying?
replayed the samples?
No, they did a whole different song.
Well,
They just kept the vocals.
Now I'm not even plugging myself. I'm really just talking about how. No, I'm not. And this is just us talking.
This is a
We can
whole
edit this
commercial
out.
for Good Talk.
You
it's
don't,
not.
because
It's
you don't
not.
do this to your artists.
Right, but
Wow.
I'm not even. This is not for this. This is really us talking now. It's crazy to me because I know a lot of people similar to me that would never take the artist's control of their music or how they want to put stuff out and like do that. So I don't even understand like how you would get your album and it would just be totally changed.
Absolutely. That happened twice.
And it came out that way.
Yes, it was. This was
Yeah,
was
so you
already
must have been
shipped to record
disgusted.
stores.
You guys must have been disgusted.
Oh, it was, so that would happen, and then we would argue with them. They put us on the shelf for a year. We go back to the street, hustle. Then we finally be like, "Fuck this, let's turn
But you
in
know
this
what?
album and all
You
of that."
got
But then
lucky
Riding
that it
Dirty was
happened-
different.
You got lucky that it happened that bad to you so early because look at what you built.
No, we could have been a bigger success and lost a lot more and been even more
Right,
frustrated.
right.
But I mean, this was a wild time. Like I had to Pimp used to want to go to New York and let rats loose in the office. And I'm like, they're really not going to do nothing because there's already rats in
There's
the
rats
building. It's
everywhere.
New York. Like, there's already rats in the building. You're not doing nothing. They're not
Roaches
going to run
might have
out the
been
door
worse. Big
scared.
water
They're
bugs.
prepared
Right.
for rats. You know what I'm saying? So we just had to make sense of this shit in a real way.
So-
and we realized that the biggest problem was that we kept taking money. And every time we took money, we were beholden to them. And they had the leverage and the power.
So do you own the majority of your masters from back in the day till now? Or-
It's all reverting. Everything's reverting.
Good for you. That's
you know what I'm saying.
that's
So
amazing.
27 we'll own Too Hard to Swallow, and 29 we'll own Super Tight, and then 31
The 30-year clause, right?
Yes,
Is that what it is?
So and then 31 we'll own Riding Dirty, and then so forth and so on.
That's amazing.
So I feel like I tell people all the time, man, just be smart. You know what I'm saying? And you just
Weather
gotta
the
live.
storm.
You just gotta live long enough for this shit to work out.
That's
I'll
a
be
fact.
very honest. Many people, they just didn't live long enough for the shit to work out. And sometimes it's your kids or your grandkids that actually get the full benefit
Yeah.
of the work you
Yeah.
put in. So I just tell motherfuckers, man, just live long enough. All this shit works out. Everything eventually works out. You just gotta live long enough to see the end result of this shit.
That's deep, and to keep pushing. Like I always say, the people that make it. Like I'm not more. The joke is I call myself the least talented. I'm not the best producer. Coming up, I wasn't the best DJ. I really wasn't the best exec until I learned from all my failures and been like, as long as you learn from those failures and you're like, yo, don't do that again, you could become really smart in anything. You know what I mean?
Well, the best executives, to be fair, have no real hands-on type of talent, right? But they can spot it when they see it.
Yeah.
And they know how to encourage it and nurture it and mentor it
Yeah.
and put it in the right position. That's a skill.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very serious skill that I don't think a lot of people get credit for. A lot of people have gone out here and seen someone, unpolished, dirty. They dress them up, they put them in the studio, they put the right beats behind them,
Yeah,
they put
that's
the right
crazy.
people around them, and they create them, they make them a star, they get something to convince somebody to put money and invest into them, and then as soon as they make it, they turn their back on their man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's not real. That's
No.
not real. You should be all looking at, like, LeBron's a prototype, right? Everybody on this team is going to come with me, but you're going to have a job and you're going to do it well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to need a manager. You're the guy that knows how to talk to people. You're going to be my manager. I'm going to need security. You're the one that ain't scared to punch a motherfucker in his mouth. You're going to be security. Everybody needs a job. Everybody needs a position. And then I could take you from being my security, help you build a security company. Now you have employees. I could take you from a guy that makes beats. You can build a production company. Now you can, bring other people in on this shit. You just have to come in with structure. It's very hard to apply structure to this shit once it's going.
Right.
So you really, mentally, somebody has to have an idea of how this shit need to look, how it need to sound, how we need to be seen, and where we need to be at. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
And you can build, if you have that one person, and it don't need to be the artist. It usually ain't the artist.
Yeah, no, it's true.
The artist need to concentrate on the talent, making the record,
yeah.
build the relationships and all of that
You
stuff.
sound like me
but
right now.
somebody, because you got to think, back in the days, like in the 50s and the 60s, So I'll tell you a story. The first person to get all that money before a show was Elvis. He was the first person to get what he was booked for before the performance. Until Elvis came, you had to wait to get your second half after you performed.
And was that some mob shit or what was behind that?
Well, yeah. So your manager had to be a gangster
Right.
to get your money at the
Right.
end of the night.
Right.
Elvis, with the Colonel, who's one of the smartest guys in the world, but it's a whole other thing with the Colonel. The Colonel was like, we're not going to the venue. You got to bring the money to the hotel. We're not leaving the hotel and coming to the venue till Elvis is paid. That's why when Elvis, they'd be sitting there waiting, and then Elvis is in the building, right? Because they finally went. Because people were trying to be like, no, we don't do that. Well, he ain't coming.
Right.
And he had such a big demand for him as a talent that they went against their rules. I mean, decades of we don't do that till I got these screaming kids in this fucking arena. They're gonna tear my shit up. I need them to get that. Well, you got to pay him now. Well, we got to get the door, Marl. I don't want to hear that. I need the money. And eventually, all that bullshit they shoot at you, because they shot a lot of bullshit. And they still shoot bullshit. It's still like some real fuck promoters out here.
Yeah, we deal with
give
that
him
all
the
the
money.
time.
Elvis would go and do the show, and now that's the norm. You know what I'm saying? We all, well, not all, because up and coming talent sometimes it's still a struggle.
Sometimes they don't know, but
you know
at
what
the
I'm saying?
end
But
of
for
the
the
day-
most part, all of us get paid half before, half right before you go on
Right on the
stage. Type
show.
of thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, as much as I would, I don't give Elvis no credit for a lot of shit because he was a funny dude, but the Colonel, that type of shit, like you need somebody in your corner that's gonna fight for you. You know?
No, that's some of the realest shit.
Do you fight
said,
for your
even
artist, John?
all day. And you know what's crazy? You said something that really
Because I
resonated
don't like him.
with
You
me.
want to fight me, John? Because I don't like
He's
this motherfucker.
hiccuping. He's convulsing over here.
What the hell is
Going
going
into all
on?
types of shit over here.
What I was
I
going to
was
say,
a nice guy.
You said some real shit. Is that you'll do all that for an artist? You'll every artist I ever worked with, every comedian I ever worked with, I found from ground zero, like 100 followers or before when it was MySpace, whatever it is, and from sleeping on floors together, couches together, sharing meals before I had bread, right? There are probably only a handful of artists that kept it a buck with me all the way through their careers. And not that I expect that, right? There's you could do good business with people and you might not want to be in business with me year 5 or 6. I can't be mad at that. But then there's a lot of artists I look at, and to your point, it's just like, you'll do what you do for them, and then they just fame and money can really turn you into a different type of.
I mean, a very good, genuine, down, wholesome person that has never had real money before does not know who they are. They do not know who the fuck they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is not until you get in this world, you have a certain level of fame.
Yeah.
That's going to go a little where. Then you get some money with that. That's going to go somewhere. And then you end up with the dude with the most money and the biggest fame.
Yep.
Man, all bets are off, bro.
That's a fact. But
fuck
you know what I
love,
learned?
fuck commitment, all of that shit.
But you know what I learned through it all? Because it used to hurt me when I would have a fallout with an artist, and I'd be like, I know I didn't steal from him. I know I didn't put him in a bad contract. Like, why is this happening, right? Is it me? But the truth of the matter is myself or you or whoever, I've done this for a long time. Like a win doesn't change me. I'm just like this, right? Even in the beginning though, I really was just steady with it. And it used to really hurt me when I would have fallouts with artists, but then I started to realize what you just said. Things change when you're coming from zero and now everything's thrown on you, right? And for me, I had to learn to just enjoy the experience of watching somebody win and taking that with me. Because for a long time, I'd internalize it. Like, damn, why did me and Nip never had a fallout? I'll just use him as an example. Damn, why didn't me and Nip this or me and Diz or whoever, right? And the truth is like, in this industry, you really have to just enjoy the ride, enjoy the experience, and whatever happens and comes out of it, you might not be with somebody forever, but those 5 years, those 3 years, enjoy that because it's a wicked industry. It's a wicked.
I gotta say, this is an amazing infomercial for your record company, Johnny.
No, I'm not even talking about my.
I think you've done a great job of making people want to bring their music over here.
Is that what this feels like?
Absolutely.
Then I'm gonna cut this part out.
I think it's the byproduct of it. You're telling a good
I'm
truth,
telling
but
the
it's
truth.
also. But look. Just because you're telling the truth about what you do doesn't mean that you don't have the right to sell yourself, bro.
No. But that I don't. But I'm not selling myself. I'm more telling you
Could you
about.
put that on the table?
Look, just because
over
you're
there?
not intentionally trying to do it doesn't mean you're not doing a good job doing it. That's all I'm saying.
So
John.
you feel like I'm selling myself on this particular pod? It's okay. I'm just asking.
I'm trying to sell myself. That's why the fuck I'm on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, fair
All I
enough.
do
But I
is
was
try
more.
to
I
sell
was more.
myself. Matter of fact, can we get my
not doing
vinyl?
a
My
good-
vinyl's over
nobody's buying.
Yeah, you're not doing a good job, bro.
All right, so
Hey, Mo Trill coming soon.
no need to sell yourself, my boy. Nobody's buying.
there. Jesus, Bun.
You know what I'm saying? Grab the
Fuck
bottle
your
real quick.
life.
You're gonna like this, Bun. But okay. I respect what you're saying, but more what I was saying.
That's
I
what
was
I'm saying.
sharing
Thank
an
you,
intimate
thank you.
moment
Give it
with
this
you.
to me.
I'm just fucking
Because-
with
Can
you,
you give
John.
this to me?
I'm just fucking
But-
with you.
No. This is a vinyl. It's out now. I think we've sold 7 copies.
No, 17.
17.
That shit is
One
mad
of the
dusty.
sevens.
Look at that.
One of them seven somethings, right?
17.
Why is the cover back?
Well, tell them about it if
dusty,
you're going to
look.
promote it.
It got
yeah,
mad
it's because it's
dust
been
on it.
sitting over there underneath my beer.
He needs to
But
sell 'em,
listen,
man.
but listen,
Is
but
that a
listen.
self-portrait?
He's basically calling you a white cracker, but what he doesn't know is that's tofu.
That's tofu. It's
bad
called
tofu.
Bad
He looks
Tofu.
like tofu,
It's me
too,
and
so-
Chuck Strangers. Please go buy the
Who
album.
said you could use Starberry's name? That's Coney Island.
Yeah, I love Starberry. He's my favorite basketball
man.
player ever.
You look like literally the least likely motherfucker to eat tofu.
I don't what?
You do nothing healthy. He does nothing healthy.
Oh, I do. I take walks every day.
Till the liquor store going.
No. I walk to the end of the thing that I can go
To
for.
be
a
this
Red
coke
Hook.
dealer.
That's not true. And I do a lot.
Because Coke dealer comes to him. Just to be honest, just to be fair, his Coke dealer comes to him.
No, I haven't done coke in at least a month.
That's a
And-
problem.
No,
Why is that
and
a
you want to
To
know
problem?
what?
present yourself in this way with fruit flies and shit flying around you, and you ain't done Coke in a month.
But I will say this. Well, I don't have anything to back that up. I have a diploma from high school. I have a GED, actually, rather. I've had one job at a warehouse. Yeah, you're right. I'm a degenerate bun.
This is getting perpetually worse the
I was
more you
gonna say,
open
I was
your
gonna say,
mouth.
Bun
If you
got
open your
somewhere to
mouth
be.
and do anything besides drink beer, it's going bad.
Bun got somewhere to be. Corey got somewhere to be. Let's get back to the interview. Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna stop picking on you for a little bit.
Let's talk about how Bun is a real New Yorker, and I'm the
Way Mo
face of New
Trill
York
coming
City.
soon.
Well,
Right?
you are here a lot, bro.
I
remember you
don't
since
give.
the
I don't
Diamonds and
bestow that
Black days
upon
you've been here.
That
a
was-
lot
it
of
was a
people.
good time.
Static been out here for over 10 years, and I still don't call him a New Yorker.
So what makes Bun a
Bun
New
is
Yorker?
Bun is a New Yorker because when he comes through, he could come through Dolo, and the people embrace him, and he knows the people who are real New Yorkers, and he's not just like running around with them; he's actually friends with them.
Yeah.
And Bun is. If the music industry was filled with people like Bun B, this would be a great industry.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. You're very solid.
hospitable.
I like
Even
that.
when you go
I
out
like
there,
You're gonna speak your mind. You're gonna
that's-
shit on people like
That's
me
high
and him.
praise.
when you
Thank you,
want to.
Nims. That's high
I'm not
praise.
sold.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
No. Say what you gotta say.
I said I'm not sold. I'm joking.
No, that's what he just said. You only
Okay.
sold 17 copies. So nobody's buying. That's okay though. Yeah. You got time.
Yo, how did you
word.
feel to the point of Trill Burgers? We're gonna get back into real shit. To the point of Trill Burgers, and you saying that you gave that name to that company, right? Because
Yes.
it is something that really stemmed from you guys, right? How did you feel when like Ben Trill or Trill, the word, like was used by everybody but you guys, right?
It was an issue for a minute. I didn't have any problem with people appropriating the term and like that. If you know it goes out into the lexicon, so be it. I didn't like the idea of people co-opting Trill with knowledge of where it came from. There were some people that literally did not know.
Right.
Right. And so I gave them grace for that. I educated them about it.
Yeah.
Me and Joe Fresh Goods just made a t-shirt about it. Like when I met him, he was at Magic selling Trill shirts. I had to sit him down. I was like,
Recently?
No, this was
long
in his
time,
early
yeah.
years. You know, so I was like, you need to build your own thing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of when he started
Yeah.
Joe Fresh Goods. But there were a couple of people that knew what it was, knew where it came from, and just thought that they could get away with just trying to monopolize my shit. And that's where things became a problem
Yeah.
for me. You know what I'm saying? If we're all having fun making music, that's cool, but you're consciously trying to co-opt my term and monetize it. I wasn't even monetizing it in
Right.
that way. And in retrospect, maybe that was a problem, that people didn't have a clear idea of where it came from and whose it was. So when that happened with the Ben Trill situation, I reached out to Russ because it started through SSUR,
Yeah.
right? Through Russ's brand. And I
Did
told
it
him
really
about
start through Russ?
Yeah, Russ was the first
I
one to
didn't
have a
realize
bit. It started with Virgil and
Yeah,
those
I
guys,
thought it was
but the first merchandise that I saw was the
Got it.
Sir collaboration. It was promoted by the ATL twins, who are good dudes. I had no problem
Yep.
with them. But I called Russ and I said, Russ, yo, that Ben Trill, because it was not just the Ben Trill thing. That was one thing. The SSUR collaboration was like, fuck Trill. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Which
crazy.
was par for what Russ was doing.
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah,
a jab of what we were
you
doing,
directly.
but their whole thing was very counterculture,
Yeah.
antisocial approaches to things.
like the
So it was-
Come Dear Garçon, calm the fuck down.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was just the takes that they would do on
Yep.
shit. And I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna be very honest. Like, I know you don't know what this means, but people wearing something that says fuck Trill in certain places could get fucked up.
Yeah,
Like it could not
So
be, it would
good.
not be a good thing. And so Russ pulled everything. Russ pulled all the merch, everything, and destroyed it so that nobody could have it. But the Ben Trill stuff kept happening. And then I had to realize whose it was, and it was
Yeah.
Virgil and Matthew at the time. But then they got snaked out of it by the guy Matthew that they were working with. So the same way, their thing was more DJ driven and music driven. That Ben Trill was like a DJ collective kind of a thing. And so when I finally met Virgil, I was like, I was very upset about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like you guys had more knowledge about where it
for
came
sure.
from. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely knew.
And he admitted, that they, it got a little away from him, and then they kind of got snaked out of what they were doing. So it was a learning experience for everybody involved.
Did you trademark Trill at this point?
I had it trademarked, and then,
really? Even then?
Yes, and then we lost it, and then, what happened? We didn't lose it, but we only trademarked it for certain things. So we did like T-shirts, hats, and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, it's Trill cigars and Trill wine and all this other type of shit.
Other people doing that, or you guys doing
Other
that?
people.
Wow.
Other people doing that. So, I mean, we're sending out cease and desist left and right.
Yeah, it
but
starts to
every
get
now
more
and
expensive
then, some people were doing it, but not utilizing social media as much. So a lot of it fell under the radar. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even know somebody was doing it. And by the time we sent the cease and desist, they would already make some good bread off of it.
Right. And
But then I had to, be more verbal about it, you know what I'm saying, and just let people know, like, you know what I'm saying, if you do this.
Yeah, I remember that. I feel like you went public with it, didn't you?
I did.
And that's definitely out of your character. I feel
but it was something that I had to take a stand, because it not only affects me, at this point it affects, Pimp's legacy, his estate and all of that. So we can't just let people do what they want to do with our shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to do things beyond saying don't do it. That should be enough.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you still have a good relationship with like Pimp's whole side of everything and the estate and all that?
Yeah, I mean, we just did a UGK capsule for the brand Dios in Houston. So Pimp's wife and I were both present at the scene. And no, we do a lot of work together. The UGK Supreme capsule, that has to be agreed on. Anything that we do that incorporates Pimp C's name, image, or likeness has to go through the estate.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And we have a good relationship. We have no problem working together, because, at this point, there's a different level of appreciation for what we built, and we never really did a lot of merchandise.
Yeah.
I never really wanted to bastardize the name and just put so much shit out that it didn't have any value left in it. So I was trying to be very careful, you know what I'm saying, and pick and choose the right brand association and the right opportunity.
I feel like that's part of the allure with UGK. And that's kind of what I was saying about like you were on such big records, but you never sold out. You just never did any whack shit. You really didn't.
We waited for the big lick, right? So we realized, like, you can take a little money now, but if this shit play out like it's supposed to, we can hit a real big lick.
What was the big lick to you?
Well, getting the real sponsorships, right? Like getting Jordan brand boxes on your front porch, getting paid to speak at events for people, doing somebody's 5th anniversary, doing the SNS's 10th anniversary in Switzerland, and all these different things that take you around the world because you do good business and you stand on good character. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was just stay the course, keep being real dudes, you know what I'm saying? And eventually somebody somewhere is going to recognize us for who we are and what value we carry, and they're going to bread us up.
How long you think that took? 15 years?
We periodically, somebody that had appreciation for UGK would get a position at a certain job, and they would recommend us for like the Christmas party or the holiday party or some shit like that. And we would work our way through. Like every time we did sponsorships, I would always thank the guy that brought me out, shout out the company, the exec. I was like, let me know, like, if the president's coming, tell me a name. Josh, we see you. Thank you so much for giving Tim the power to bread us up. We appreciate it. Anytime you have those little things stuck, right? And so, especially in the music industry, right? Like, you might go somewhere to, let's say, MTV. Let's say in February, you might go to MTV in 2001, and they bring you over there, and you build up a good relationship. And then in April in 2002, that person's at VH1 now, but they remember you were a cool dude, so they call you and bring you over to that. Then that person's at BET in a year and a half later, and they're doing an awards show. Yo, why don't you come over here and do this? How's your wife doing? Like, all of those things come into play. They show character. I always say character. Yeah, you never burn a bridge. Because like right now, I do events where there's newer talent that they could book, more famous talent, more present talent, right? But are these people going to do what they need to do in front of the execs, in front of your boss? I always consider in a lot of these settings that the dude that paid me is not the dude that paid me. Yeah. Right? He's the representative of the money, but it's not his money. So somebody somewhere that I don't know What they look like is in this room, making sure that this dude didn't fuck his money up by bringing somebody that don't care about the company, ain't gonna shout the company out, ain't gonna drink a beer, doing a Budweiser show. Where's Truck? They always die laughing because I drink a beer every now and then with certain shit, and they be like, boy, I know he hate this. But I'm towing the company line. Right. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make these things work and to perpetuate. That's my whole thing is I want things that I do on Monday to perpetuate money on Tuesday. What I do on Tuesday, perpetuate money on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Everything I do needs to not only get me paid today, but set me up to get paid tomorrow or in a couple of other days. The residual side of it, the back end.
I was just about to say,
you know what I'm saying?
Are there any collabs, whether it was music or brands, that you regret not doing? Like anything you were approached?
Well, we were supposed to do Sprite, but our label told Sprite we didn't want to do it.
Without even consulting?
Yeah, so back in the day when they did the rap thing with Voltron, where Fat Joe and all that. Yeah. So Sprite went around the country and asked everybody, like, if you could see somebody from here, like a rapper from here that you think should be on TV, who would it be? And we were the #1 choice. So they went to Jive and told him that. Jive said, no, those dudes are difficult. They don't want to do, they're hard to work with. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to work with them because they were mad at us at the time.
That's fucking crazy.
So the Sprite dude, I met the dude a couple of years, like after the fact, dude was like, yo, why didn't y'all want to do the Sprite ad?
Damn.
We never understood that. I was like, what are you talking about? The Sprite ad, you know, the Voltron, the thing, like, you know, you guys were in line for that, but the label said, I said, excuse me?
Right. And that full circle.
At that point, I was like, yo, let's go get the rats.
I was trying to say, full circle, and that's why either you don't sign to a label or know exactly who you're working with at that label.
Absolutely. But to be fair, we were young, we were wild, we were hard to deal with, right? So it was literally like
Pimp more than you hard to deal with, or you were hard to deal with?
It would be Pimp, but I had to stand with him. If that was how he felt, that was how he felt. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about these situations. If we walk in the room and you say something out of character in the room, I'm not going to look at you crazy. I'm not going to judge you like everybody else. We got to stand on that. In that room, in that moment, we got to stand on that. Even if it's a lie, we got to. Big G said it in a why. Even if it's a lie, we got to stand on that lie because we in it now. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's too far. Now when we get out of here, we might cuss and fuss in the car on the way back. Why would you say? Why the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people would always laugh it off. Oh man, I'm just fucking with them people. But some of this shit would have real ramifications.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So every now and then we would have to argue, but never in mixed company. Never in mixed company. Take that shit home with you.
Keep it clean.
Absolutely.
Before we get into the new album, I just had a couple of last questions.
Goddamn, we've been there a year and a half.
I know. We gotta push it forward. But I did want to ask about the teaching and the college stuff because I was always so impressed with that. Are you still teaching currently?
No. I taught when music wasn't satisfying me. This Pimp had passed.
Because there was a minute, right?
Pimp had passed, so I didn't have my natural collaborator with me. So I was just looking for other things to do that didn't really have to do with that. And so that worked for a couple, like 3 semesters. And then my wife was like, "No, I know you go to work in the daytime, but this ain't your day job.
Yeah.
And this shit don't really pay like that.
Yeah.
We're eating up our savings the more you do it. But keep in mind, I'd never been in a position to really speak to the youth directly. I'd been speaking through my music and by actions, but by teaching, I got to speak to the youth directly.
It felt more rewarding,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I ended up, at some point, I was like, yo, I got to go back to the music, but it ain't fun. I'm like, this music shit is not fun no more. My wife was like, well, work with somebody that you get along with. Y'all have fun. So we settled in on Crit. We went and got Crit. And we created some amazing music. And I had fun making the music. And it was like, yeah, I think I could go back out and do this again. You know
Was
what I'm
that
saying?
around country shit or that was after country shit?
That would have been after country shit for sure.
Got it. So after I was involved with Crit.
Absolutely.
What was the class called that you taught?
It was called Hip Hop and Religion, Post-Slavery to Modern Times. It was a humanities course. And it was really about the parallels of expression through the church and through music. Typically, most people don't realize it. You pick your friend group by the music you listen to and the God you pray to, for the most part. That's a very, very least common denominator entry point for people. You know what I'm saying? You believe in the same God and you like the same music, you guys are probably gonna get along. Because you're gonna spend a lot of time listening to the kind of music that whoever that artist is, that artist is speaking of what y'all like to do. So he's the soundtrack to your life.
And so is it fair to say, like, you found like a new love for music and working with Crit first? Is that what really brought you back into it?
It wasn't that. It was about the environment, right?
Like youth around you again, or
it wasn't that. It was about a safe space,
Got it.
right? Like I was working my way back into the shit,
Yeah.
right? I know Crit wasn't going to do anything to compromise me
Yeah,
in the
facts.
room. You know what I'm saying? He was going to hold me down.
Yeah.
But he also not only produced the kind of music that was reflective of what I had done already. We made him like the music coordinator. So he went out and found other people and said like, yo, you need to do a song about this, like this, but I don't make that as good as this guy. So I'm gonna ask this guy to make you that song because you need a big one of those. You know what I'm saying? So he would go and find different people that made the kind of music that he felt I needed to work on. So he wasn't selfish in that aspect. He was talented enough to do everything.
Yeah.
But he knew what I was capable of, and he knew it was a broad spectrum, and there was a couple of things that I should be talking about in a certain way that he didn't think he was the best one to make that song.
Right.
That's the kind of insight that he brought to it. And we've had
And
fun.
honesty.
Like we fucking laughed in the studio. That was a big part of it. Like as you can see, I'm a funny guy. I like to make jokes.
I didn't know that till today because
You know?
Crit is a very serious guy for the most
Absolutely.
part.
So I spend the whole day breaking him. I do it with him. Spend the whole day trying to break
I
him.
know you barely cracked a smile, even with him on
I
the
gotta
couch.
piss. I love y'all.
That was
All right,
inevitable.
well,
TMI.
we're basically ending the interview. So is that you saying
Cut
peace?
your mic off.
You're right.
You shouldn't have told him
Smart.
that. You shouldn't have told him that. You definitely should not have told him that.
I was saving
We don't
us.
want to hear none of
By
that.
the way, Cory in the Def Jam jacket is disgusted. Just so you know, she's just disgusted.
We're all disgusted with him.
Yo, would you be open to taking his spot on the pod indefinitely? We talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
Talk
later.
about it later. All right, so you guys have a new album coming out.
Yes.
Talk to us about it. Name of it. When does it drop?
Mo Trill. is the
Rayyy
name of the
Mo
album.
Trill.
It's our second album. The first album was called Mo Trill. So I was like, we're gonna do another
did
one.
that
It's not
drop?
gonna be Mo Trill 2, right? That's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's do something. Let's call it way Mo Trill because this album needs to be way Mo Trill than the last one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And what was
So
when
I'm
did the
clever
last
like
one come
that,
out?
You know.
I see.
Last one came out in 22. Yeah,
22. All right, so 3
Pandemic?
years later.
3
Coming
years
out,
ago.
Like coming out of the pandemic.
Have you guys toured together yet?
He's been my opening act and my hype
Multiple
man.
times.
Typically, when I go overseas,
Overseas.
my hype man here can't go overseas.
Got it.
I don't want to get into why,
Yeah.
but he's on paper for certain things, and he just could not get the passport to go overseas. So whenever we have shows overseas, I get pushed into having to bring this dude. You know what I'm saying?
And we done
Who
toured
is-
Canada twice.
Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing producer. He's
yeah.
a terrible hype man. Just terrible. Like he's spending a lot of time trying to make sure he looks cool, which is not the job description at all.
Look at
Not
a lot
what
of
he-
hype
keeps
men
bringing
do.
me, though. He
A lot
keeps
of hype
bringing me,
men,
but
you know,
I'm
that's
terrible.
their time to shine.
not with that shit.
But you're more than a hype man. You're a dope producer, like you just said. So
For sure.
on the production side, you've been producing your whole career. Like I know you a long time. You were producing back in the day as well, and you
Yes,
rap,
sir.
correct?
Yeah, I mean, I used to rap years ago.
So
I gave that
you're
up.
not rapping at all on the new album.
I realized that making beats make a lot more money than rapping, and I just focus more on production and yeah.
But
It's
sometimes
Would
you
you
gotta-
say you're a better producer than rapper?
yes,
And that's why.
Bun wanted to hear
That's-
that.
that's
Bun wanted
wise.
to. He needed
but
to make
I
sure.
He
can
made the
out
sound
rap.
choice. He made the
I
sound
can
choice.
out rap a lot of motherfuckers you know though.
Who
To
know?
this day,
The dude that just left off the sofa.
I'm a bad
Milc is
motherfucker.
a
now.
good rapper. Milc is a good rapper. I wish he would have rapped. Or you should have played him a beat.
You know
but-
that's not the type of shit to say in front of somebody like Nims, right?
Oh yeah,
because
Like
Dem's
his
dead
whole
nice.
career
Shit.
is
He's
like,
dead nice. You
eating
never heard
niggas
him rap?
lunch. His whole
Yeah,
career is
yeah,
just
I
eating
heard.
niggas lunch. Like,
yeah. Well, hey, I'm a producer, bro, so it's all good.
All right, there
And,
we go.
and what features are on the album?
we've got, I almost said Yin Yang Twins. I was thinking about Trill.
8 Ball,
Yin Yang
MJG,
G, Jazzy Faye,
Pimp C.
Pimp C, Juicy J, Project Pat,
Damn, it sounds
Hakeem
like-
Ali.
La Russell.
Hakeem Ali is dead nice. So is La Russell. From the new
Yes,
generation,
absolutely.
dead nice.
I
both
definitely
of
wanted
them.
to tap in with
Yeah.
the next generation.
Now
I
with-
try to get people.
Mona
I always wanna
Leo,
bring people
Scotty
that he don't know.
ATL.
Mona
Yeah.
Leo
Yeah.
is dope,
So-
dope too from Houston.
Yeah,
No,
Mona
Mona
Leo's
Leo is
Look,
crazy.
with the-
Hometown hero.
So when you heard Hakeem Ali, were you blown away?
Absolutely.
He's-
I thought he was dope as fuck, and I instantly told Bun, yo, we need to get this dude on the album.
Yeah. I heard him
Instantly.
like years ago, and I knew he was special right away. Same with La Russell. I tried to sign both of them. They don't want to sign me.
He was,
but just,
and I like about Hakeem that he he took the time to work through a couple of different ways to present himself.
Yeah.
And then he realized, realistically, I can make most of these work. So it's like he does some stuff as Akeem Ali, he does some stuff as Casanova. You know what I'm saying? He's got these alternate personalities.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Shock G, like on the cool, because you consciously know it is, but you allow yourself to let the character take over and live in that space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's doing a great job at it.
And what, just in closing on my end, what, like, your career spanned 30 years, right? There's different ways to market promo. Are you guys indie on this album, or are you signed somewhere? And what's the marketing plan like?
We've got distribution through Hitmaker.
Okay.
And so Hitmaker and I and Cory Mo have worked together. Shout out to Destiny, the rep in the room.
Hitmaker's still independent. They're an indie. Right?
But what it is, they already know everybody that we would want to reach out to. So we didn't have to make as big a commitment or as deep a commitment in the partnership as you would have to do with a record company who would basically give you the same set access to these people and these individuals and these platforms. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really, really good partnership. You know, the people they want us to be in front of, the people that they feel we need to talk to, most part, we have relationships, and if we don't, they've been really cordial and really open. We had a great time at Spotify. And they're presenting the right people. To be fair, everywhere we've gone, they've sent the right representation from that company that has a level of awareness, not just somebody that read a PDF file so they know what to say, but you can tell they know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
Like, they're not just superficially saying they're a fan. They actually have moments that they can speak to, and that's been comforting to know that we're in front of people that actually have a level of awareness of what we've done so they can better appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Shout out to Cody and Pyrenees on that too. Over there, Hitmaker.
And do you feel like, you know, back in the day, even as recent as like 5 or 6 years ago, you wouldn't have to do as much content as you do now? Like now it's, I want to even say, unfortunately, it's 40% about music and 60% about the content you make or these shows you come on or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Even the presidential fucking campaign was damn near one on podcasts and creating content. Are you guys like, are you stepping into that side of it?
Absolutely. You have to. See, I come from a generation where all of this wasn't even available to us. So it really was about the label you were at, the level of presence they had in the space, and how much they believed in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it doesn't really work like that. You either got motion or you don't.
Yeah.
And that depends. That will dictate the level of support you get. You know what I'm saying?
I love this era of music and putting out music better than back in the day, because back in the day, whether it was you guys or the execs at the label or me or the artists at the label, we're like trying to rack our brains. This should be the single. No, this song's the strongest on the album. And then you have to literally stick with that song. You go work it at radio or whatever. Now you put out music, it can even be Lucy's, or you put out the album and something catches on TikTok.
Yeah, you can test
and
it.
even though TikTok is fucking retarded, or that's not politically correct, TikTok sucks. I don't even know how to work TikTok.
You just canceled yourself, but go on.
You could put a bunch of music out and my staff will tell me, yo, this song's picking up a TikTok, and then you know what the hit is. So I almost feel like it's become easier for us as execs or as artists to like put music out and find the hit.
Here's the thing, right? When I started in 1992, right? You used to have to sell, let's say, album has 10 songs. You used to have to sell 10 songs on one thing in one place to make money, right? You'd have to put all 10 on an album. You have to put it in the record store. People have to go to the record store and buy it. 10 things, one place. Now, you drop one thing in 10 places. Right? One song. I don't even have to drop an album. You drop one song, put it on all these different DSPs, shoot some visuals, BTS scenes, all of that, social media. One song goes everywhere. 10, 12 different revenue streams on one song. Right? Then you can put out 2, 3 like this album, we're putting out a single every week. Because we don't, we don't know what's going to hit, and why not make it available? Like, it can't hurt us.
So I got to ask you one last question. I know we got to wrap, but you said 10, 12 different revenue streams. But what bothers me, the only thing that bothers me about the era we're in is how are these revenue streams like 0.001 cent on the dollar per stream? Like,
because you don't own the music you're releasing. See, the breakdown for these things. For example, let's say you're the artist. You're the CEO, right? So you make the records, you're popular for the records, and you get the publishing, but you own the record.
But even me as the owner of the music, which I'm not, I always co-own, but I'm talking about like a stream is worth like not less than a penny.
Yes, but there's other things that are incorporated when you own the music and you have a larger quantity of music to offer. See, there's the thing. For us, those 0.1s don't really add up unless you're very famous.
Right.
But for them, it's volume. They have enough artists to make that percentage work for them because they're releasing a huge body of work. So while we're releasing 12 songs, they're releasing 12 legacies, right? Like 8 albums from him, 5 albums from this guy, right? All of these different singles. All of this stuff will appeal to somebody. It will all have some sort of stream, and the numbers will add up for them a lot quicker than it adds up for us. So, and to be fair, they're getting revenue from other places because these things still sell. They still sell at Apple Music. They still sell at Google Music, right? So they still get that percentage cut of that. No matter how you slice it, the owner of the music being released will eventually capitalize off of that music more than the singer and the rap. The only way we really capitalize off of this stuff is we can attach merch, do tours about that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because you still got to recoup. Right? And so the more self-sustained you are, the quicker you can recoup because you can get things done without having to ask them for money, cut this check and that kind of thing. So, you know, but if you're left at the resources of the label and you have to go through them, that's where, well, I'm not the guy with the money. I got to get it from that guy. And that guy has to have approval from these 3 people from these departments and all this kind of fucking red tape. You know what I'm saying? But that's to secure their investment. Their pennies are, their share of the market is shrinking every single day. So they have to set up things in a way that they can still capitalize, or at least if we got to get the same piece, then I got to have more stuff releasing than you. And so that's what they do. It's a numbers game. Yeah. And now, and because of that, now I can see why some artists would just want to cash out and be done with this shit.
And you know move what I'm on saying? To real estate or something else.
Absolutely. And just go on to some other shit. Or start over, brand new. Yeah. You know, you can sell up to what you got now and then start over with a smaller unit, self-sustained. You know what I'm saying? Put that shit out there at your leisure. And then some of it take off. You got the money and the resources and the fame to do what you need to do to make that record go and make more money.
We have learned a lot on this pod. I'll tell you one thing, especially with this moron gone, this has been the most intelligent podcast we have had the entire...
At least the last 20 minutes, for sure.
For sure the last 20 minutes, but shout out Bun B, shout out Cory Mo. New album in stores November 7th. I'm very happy
Shout out
for
to
you
Nims
guys.
for just pulling up at the right time.
Shout out to Nims for saving the pod.
Because otherwise we would have been left at the mercy of
me and Milc.
A pink Grinch. like it would have been a problem.
Me and Milc would have had to do this podcast without you, and it would have been a disaster. So thank you.
Big time.
Shout out to Milc. I hope you get, hope your situation is better.
I'm going to send you a song just to hear.
You don't have to. I'll take your word. I'll take your word for it. Thank you, guys.
Up through there.
Oh,